Okay. A spiraling pathway, just like in the Infernal Castle.
Or the brawl.
Good. That means we only have one path. Upward.
It looks strong. Watch out! Looks like a real tough one. That enemy is strong. Please be careful.
powerful. We must take care.
Alright. So, you've arrived.
Earlier than expected.
Yes, we've come for you.
Did you really think those two from Ouroboros would hold us up?
It doesn't matter. They've fulfilled their... The only thing we require for the rivalry is the Ashen Awakener. Everyone else is none of our... The Azure Awakener included. The Sword of the End still has a role to play. Campanella and Maribel were to thin out your ranks, but they didn't even use their ion against you. How disappointing.
How could you?
Man, say what you really mean, why don't you?
This guy has textbook villain written all over him.
Ouroboros has their own priorities, and we have our... We can't expect outsiders to be fully invested in our plans after...
Yes, I suppose that's true. Their organization is only interested in observation. Further cooperation may not be necessary.
Today's just full of interesting info, huh?
That's a topic for another time.
The wings stolen from the Steel Maiden's Divine Knight.
The Auric Knight has completely absorbed them now. That power was rightfully won by the Ashen Knight. It should have gone to...
Rufus Alberich, Knight of Blood, and the man before me is no brother of mine. Interrupting a duel at the last minute. And for your own selfish reasons. Have you no honor?
He did the same thing back when he killed Grianos at the Infernal Castle.
You're pretty messed up for someone who's supposed to be the noblest of nobles.
I can't deny it. But even so, noble blood still runs through my banter aside. I had a war to manage on top of my duties as a Knight of Blood and... Surely you can't fault me for picking the most efficient course of... Oh, and by the way, I'm happy you were able to recover Milliam. Even if she is simply a projection from the sword.
Oi, 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 oi. I'll be gonna beat your ass.
How dare you!
It's okay, guys. He's not wrong, you know. Sup, Rufus? Long time no see.
Yes, you certainly surprised all of us back at the... But I'm happy, as a fellow Ironblood, that we were able to meet. Although, I imagine my joy pales in comparison to Clara or Lecter.
Aw, don't sweat it. We didn't really have that many chances to...
Milliam, you're definitely one.
I think you're being a bit too cheerful given this...
Sorry to interrupt, but I believe this will have to do for our banter. We should begin the... Ideally, this would have taken place during the Great Twilight's climb, but I suppose it may work out yet. Should you lose to Lord Rufus, he will obtain the Sword of the End, allowing us to be fully prepared for the...
Sorry, but that's not how it's going to go.
You seem pretty confident that Rufus will win. No. Maybe it's not Rufus you place your faith in, but the Auric Knight.
Oh?
It's true that the Auric Knight has seemingly limitless potential, just like the Argent...
You see, the Divine Knights may appear to be equally powerful, but there is a hierarchy among them. They have engaged in many battles over the past centuries, each time being wiped from the annals of history, all as practice for the true rivalry of the Seven. The only knight that did not participate was the Ebon. It may interest you to know that even if a Divine Knight is destroyed, with time it will regenerate. Their awakeners, however, often end up as undead abominations. Nosferatu.
Where the fuck? Hold up.
remember the field of endless blades you witnessed during your trial below Thor's? Each sword marked a divine knight's defeat, the grave of yet another of its awakening.
I can't believe it.
So that's what they were.
In all the battles that occurred, two knights emerged victorious far more often than their breath. Their strength is second only to the Ebon Knights. Surely by now you must know which ones I refer to. They were, of course, the Auric Knight, brilliant as the sun, and the Argent Knight, which glows like the moon. Following them was the Crimson Demon with 1,000 weapons. Compared to such supremely powerful machines, the Azure, Palatinate, and Ashen Knights?
Where does this guy get off?
Kinda pisses me off to hear him trash talk Ordine like that.
It's true that the kind of energy it gives off feels completely different from the others.
And now that it has the Argent Knight's powers as well.
You made a grave error in not properly absorbing the Azure Knight's energy. In your current state, you won't be able to make full use of the Palatinate and Vermilion. Frankly, I didn't have high expectations for Prince Cedric's ability to use the Vermilion Knight. It makes things more convenient for us now that you've absorbed its power as well.
You just say whatever you want, don't you?
But you don't have a damn clue what we're...
Class 7's been through so many crucial moments together. Everything we did in the Civil War, the Grawl of...
And in the course of those events, we lost some of our dearest, yet despite that,
We challenged foes we had no hope of defeating. Getting help along the way whenever we need. No matter how hard it was, and even if it was only small steps, we kept moving forward.
yeah, and the new Class 7 is following...
No. You've already caught up to us, Yuna. Instead of walking in our shadow, you walk with us as...
Optimism, perseverance, and cooperation are what give us... No. They're what gives humanity. Technology doesn't mean anything on its own. Without human hearts to guide it, it's nothing more than steel and... Once the Great Twilight is over, you say you want to create a world ruled by the Black Work, but if there isn't any heart in this cold world you want to make, then what's the point?
I'm sure when you made me and Tilly, you never expected us to have... But we went way beyond what you expected. We pretty much became you.
Yes, I believe this applies to Kia, and it all points to one thing.
Right. We create meaning in our lives by our interactions with others. And it's the bonds between people that shape the world. The world you want to create is one completely under the Ebon Knight's control. A world where the inhabitants, like the gnomes, are enslaved to a higher power without wills, where people can't find meaning in their lives by struggling and helping each other to move. But is there really any meaning to a life like...
That same tired rhetoric.
What's the matter, you bro? You mad?
Actually, I believe I agree with that. Still, don't think yourselves unique. I have experienced my own fair share of hardship and struggle. And ultimately, I have no plans to serve anyone either. without the Ebon Knight. Lord Chancellor, my path is clear. I will be the one to surpass my father.
The Holy Sword of Vishnard.
That's one of the twin blades the Alberich family used to slay Nosferatu in ages past.
Usus, you too?
Is that the other one?
Ah, so Arnaud delivered the Holy Sword of Elvars to you. This is simply perfect. We can have ourselves one more sparring match before the rivalry.
Do as you wish, but we must begin our preparations.
Zora Fowler! The original combat shell.
That's right. Even Estelle and the others had a tough time dealing with it. It pains me to see what's become of you, Father. But I still believe in the love that you had for Mother and me. So I'll prove it. Right here and now. I'll prove to you that your love was not a lie.
Stubborn as ever, Ms. Reinford. You leave me no... You leave me no choice but to snuff out that foolish hope of yours for good. To prove to you that my master is this world's only truth. Not Chancellor Osborne, nor the Lionheart Emperor. No, I will serve Ishmelga to the very end!
This will be it, Usus. Your last opportunity to challenge me before I transcend humanity. Now, let us cross blades!
Wait, does he mean...
No way!
You damn fool!
Allow me to grant you eternal despair.
Now come, show us what you're capable of!